Welcome back to some more Legally Not Spider-Man videos through the Omen Paths, and today we are going to be, speaking of spiders, we're going to be playing quite a few of those in today's video, so I hope you don't have arachnophobia. But before we talk about spiders, and more importantly, through the Omen Paths, a quick word from our sponsor, CoolStuffInc.com. If you guys want to buy any Spider-Man pre-orders, be sure to head over to CoolStuffInc.com. Be sure to use promo code DOOM at checkout to get yourself 5% off of your order and a free exclusive Rhino token while supplies last. Cool Stuff Inc. They got cool stuff, and they got it in stock. And with that out of the way, let us talk about spiders. Because after all, it is the legally distinct Spider-Man set. So what we have here is a deck that features quite a few of the new cards from Through the Omen Paths. And thankfully to WotC for allowing me, or the MTG Arena team, to allowing me to participate in their streamer early access event and play all of these spiders. So this deck is really just started sort of as a Borys deck. So Borys being a 4/3 trample that you can end-web for 2. New ability, the end-web is you can pay it for its end-web cost. If you return a tapped creature to your hand, in addition to paying its cost, and that way you get a little bit of a discount, and then in this case you also get a pretty significant bonus where it enters with X counters, where X is the mana value of the returned creature. So if you pick up a 1-drop, 5/4 trample, 2-drop, 6/5, so on and so forth. And what's really nice is specifically with Elf, right? You go turn 1 Llanowar Elf, turn 2 you play your second land, you tap the Elf for mana, you use one of your other 2 lands to, end-web the Borys, pick up the Elf, have a 5/4 trample, and then you just replay the Elf that same turn. So you're not really down a lot in the exchange, and you just got a 2-mana 5/4 trample, which sounds pretty good. This is sort of the big spider payoff. Kraza, the Swarm is 1. So 2 mana for a 2/1 Riot, and then it says other spiders you control have Riot. Spells and abilities can't be countered, and damage can't be prevented. So this card really allows you to, in situations where you're racing, you can give all of your stuff haste. In spots where you want, just extra sizing on the battlefield, you can give your creatures counters, because that's what Riot does. Riot allows you to choose whether you want haste or a +1/+1 counter. So you get some, really good flexibility on that. We have Rizna, the Spider Crown. It's a 1/2. Whenever you attack with 2 or more spiders, put a counter on it. And then when it deals 4 or more, you get to exile a card and cast it, which is, if you have enough cheap spiders and you have things to curve into it, because Rizna does count itself, right? So if you go turn 1 Rizna, turn 2 Kraza, you just immediately get a counter on this because you can give the Kraza haste. We have some Fateweavers. This is a 1/1 reach death touch that you can pay 2 and sack it to search. I wasn't really a big fan of this card, but I do think that if you're going to play Rizna, you need a good amount of 1-drops to be able to kind of curve in and make sure you can trigger the ability off of this. Rhino's Rampage, I think, is a fantastic new removal spell, especially if people are going to keep playing Cauldron, which, spoiler alert, they are. But you can fight a creature, and then if you deal excess damage with the fight, you can blow up a non-creature artifact. Pretty good. We got some more kill spells in Abrade, and then some other spiders you may have forgotten about because these aren't in the new set. Spinner of Souls, fantastic card. Whenever things die, you get to flip cards until you hit a creature, put that card into your hand, so very good at, against removal spells and trading in combat. Taurean Mauler, which, maybe not the best card, but it is a spider, and it fulfills the requirement of having enough spiders for stuff like Rizna. Not a spider, but very powerful card, King of the Coldblood Curse. 5/5 trample for 4. This guy reminds me a lot of Wolfear Silverheart, if anybody's old enough to remember that card when it was in Standard. And when it enters, you make something lose all abilities and become a 4/4. So you can upgrade your elf, you can downgrade their creature if they have something like a Enduring Curiosity or something, which would be kind of cool. Hey, spiders like plants, right? Ouroboroid's just a really messed up card. If your deck is playing elf and a bunch of 1-drops, you should probably have this card. Yes, I know it's not a spider, but it is extremely powerful. And Pawpatch looks sort of out of place here, but I wanted to try it with Borys, where you go turn 1 Pawpatch, turn 2 Enweb the Borys, turn 3 you can then offspring the Pawpatch. So I thought that would be kind of a cool thing to try. And then in the mana base, very, very common occurrence here. We have 4 Multiversal Passage. I think this might be in every single one of my decks except Mono White. Yeah, hugely impactful land. You should probably pick up a set of these if you're playing Paper Standard. Going to be a mainstay in Standard for quite some time to come, I think. And then, yeah, some red-green dual lands, nothing else too crazy. But, yeah, let's see if we can see how these spiders do, right? Because there's definitely, you know, a push towards the spider mechanic in this set, or the spider theme, and let's see if they're any good. I'll see you back here in just a little bit for round number 1. Like, I wonder if you can get some other blue cards in there. Ooh. Well, we're doing the thing. This is kind of what we wanted to do, right? Is Borys with Elf. FOMO. Uh-oh. Well, that can't be good. I don't like the look of that. Chat, I'm scared. Please hold me. Loses all abilities and becomes a green lizard 4/4. Well, if we have 3 permanents... Oh yeah, Hide on the Ceiling was pretty good in Cage. I actually put a Bant Cage deck on the Mox field. We didn't get to it today because we decided to play the other version of Cage instead. But there was a banned version that we built yesterday that had restitching. Or sorry, this was just blue-white. But it was like blue-white Cage, no green. It's like Starfield Shepherd, Riddler, scam stuff, like more blue-white focused. But we didn't get to that one today. Bitter Triumph. Kind of want to just go beatdowns here. Just make 9 power. Like, I'm just not beating a Zombify here. No 1-drop, but it does have Kraza. Red. Still going. I'm trying. Guess we go haste on this one. This is probably going to be my last one. Oh. Wait, their Kraza has flying. That's not fair. So... I guess we should put a counter on Spinner and then offer the trade. And get a Spinner trigger. I think that's the best way to do it. Hey, Taurean Mauler is not only a spider, it's also a spider and a hero. I just wanna make sure you're aware of that. Ouroboroid, also very, very famous spider. I mean, a plant is kind of like a spider, right? It's basically the same thing. Oh my god. Oh no, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. Somebody's going a little bit deeper with Drunith than I was going. Yeah, it is also a villain and a coward. It is also a boar. Jesus Christ. Oh no. God. I think I'm in danger. I think I might be in a slight amount of danger. I'm just gonna be honest with you right now. Think I'm in danger. Alright, well, good luck attacking. Dude, they are popping off. They are absolutely popping off. I mean, you can have the treasures. Okay. They sure do have a lot of mana. Yeah. And then I guess I'll play this. And then I think attack with just the Trampler. Maybe everything next turn. I mean, I guess attack with everything was fine that turn. They have to chump basically everything anyways. Yo, +1 counter. Huge. Huge counter. How much is it? I think it's enough. I think that was enough. Yep. Spider-Man meme. Rude. Spelunker. No, we could have done it. I guess this is fine. Green. Elf. We're just gonna bounce my elf again. Alright, fine. Oh no. Wait, is this the same person that I just played against? It might be, right? Is there nobody else in the queue? I think it might be the same person that I just played against. He gone. Spelunker. Okay, that's kind of cool. Copy that. Kept on top. Yeah, I think we just played against this person. I mean, it is basically the same deck, so I would assume that is the case. Is there just nobody else in the queue? Ash is still playing? Yeah. Broodguard. Probably should trade for one of these. Take a little bit less damage. Spider. 4, 5, 6. Dude, the the web animation is so good. Look at that. That looks really sick. I'll admit that. That looks nice. I'm just gonna do this. I'm not attacking, man. I'm just This Ouroboroid is just going to be sitting here for a while. No intention of attacking anytime soon. Yeah. I have 7 mana. Sure, you can have an 8/8. That's fine. See if I care. I got a 9/9. Block. Alright. Surely it's lethal next turn, right? Surely this is lethal. I'm not gonna do the math. I'm just gonna attack. Alright. I attack with my minions. I think it might be enough. Yeah, it was enough. We got a Fateweaver. Get a Rhino's Rampage. Not exactly the best combination, but we also have an Ouroboroid. I'm going to keep this. I'm not sure how much I like the Fateweaver so far. I mean, I guess we haven't drawn it that often, but I don't know how often you actually want to be sacrificing this. Like, I guess it kind of curves somewhat nicely, where you can just sacrifice it on turn 2, go get the 3-drop the Borys, and then cast the Borys on turn 3. Oh, it's only sorcery. I knew that. I didn't know that. I just wanted to hold up Abrade, trust. Why is that sorcery only? Would it really be too good if I could do it on my opponent's turn? Like, block sacrifice? I still gotta pay 2 mana for it, you know? I really don't think it would be too good. I mean, it would certainly be better than it is, but... I mean, I don't even want to sack it now. Now I just want to keep it in play with the Ouroboroids. In matchups where the Death Touch body isn't relevant, the card doesn't seem that good. Right, it's like... I mean, I get that it is an additional 1-drop to curve into Borys, and for, you know, that is important to make sure you have a high density of 1-drops. But, I don't know, it's like... I have not really been super impressed with it so far. But, like, you do want to make sure you have a high enough density of 1s to curve into Borys. Because you want to, like, that's sort of the ideal draws. You just go turn, you know, 1-drop into Borys on turn 2. But with Elf, Pawpatch, and the other 1-drop, Rizna, what is it? Rizna? With Rizna, Elf, and Pawpatch, that might be enough without the Fateweavers. And maybe you can just cut these for, you know, like more copies of Kraza, maybe a king, something like that. Maybe more interaction. Rizna does have Riz. I mean, why else do you think they call her Rizna? I've yet to find a single opponent with an artifact, by the way. I should have shocked and just played the Ouroboroid. What am I doing? Yeah, I should have shocked to play the Ouroboroid. Not really thinking. Got any artifacts? You got any artifacts over there? I mean, once we get into, you know, once we get into the actual format, this card's going to get a lot better. Because it can kill Agatha's Soul Cauldron, which I have to imagine is very important. But for now, it's like, you know. Okay, I can work with this. Maybe the viewers want VV. Not so sure about that. I mean, maybe they do. I guess I shouldn't speak for them, you know. Is there a card in Standard? I'm thinking of Leyline of Transformation. Is there a card? Is there a card in Standard that turns all creatures you own into a specific creature type? Like, what is that the Leyline that's in Duskmourn? I don't remember. I think it might be, right? Because what if we tried that with Kraza? Yeah, probably in Foundations. Who knows? We could try that with Kraza. Just like turn all of your creatures have Riot. That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? That's a lot of stuff. That is a lot of stuff. I don't know if I'm winning this race, but I feel like I'm maybe not. But yeah, just like blue Leyline with Kraza. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. Yeah, just like just name Spider, and then every single creature you have has Riot. I don't know what you could do with that, but just something to think about. For the mono blue video, play the Leyline and all creatures fairies. Leyline and all creatures fairies. What would be the benefit of turning them all into fairies? Is there like enough fairy payoffs? There's a Twitch video live right now. Well, what if I purposefully throw this match just so I can lose before the YouTube video goes live? Have you thought of that? Get a log on to your Tronlands Guy account. Caught? Can we get a W in the chat for Tronlands Guy? Just W Tronlands Guy. At least he's persistent. You know, I respect the effort. I'm not going to say I agree with it, but I do respect the effort. All right, turn 2, 5, 4, trample. Is this even good? Stay tuned to find out. The Sarussi. Got Riz. I mean, I'm going to search for something. I don't know what I'm getting. Oh. Well, it's certainly not a second copy of this. I guess it's just this. You see what I mean? Like, was that even good? Maybe I should have got Taurean Mauler. Did you know if you play a dragon deck in paper, you can play Cavern of Souls Game 2 and pretend to jokingly not know what to declare to bait your opponent into saying dragons, so you can say Dragon D's. If you weren't a mod, I would permaban you. Four, 3, huh? 4 tree. Fight! Well... you're not gonna like this play, but I'm doing it anyways. Told you weren't going to like this play. Yep, that does not feel very good. Got any artifacts? One of these days, somebody is going to play an artifact. All right, I'm just saying. Synthesizer? Camera? But there's plenty of targets. I know you're out there. Can't hide from me. Okay. Well, I mean, I kind of lose the game if they untap with Elspeth, so I should probably prevent that from happening. Still 4 cards in hand, though. Spider's deck not going super great. This new battlefield, by the way. Mwah. Chef's kiss. Love this new battlefield. The Surussi. Sheesh. Not my Riz. I ain't got no Riz now. Where did my Riz go? Alright, we're not winning this one. GG's. Alright, we got to more than 8 hours. That's... We not only got to more than 8 hours, we played every single deck that we wanted to play. We not only played every single deck that we wanted to play, we also built 2 more. Actually, we built 3 more? We built Naya. We only played 1 game with Naya. We realized it was bad. We built the other... Oh, we didn't play the blue-white cage deck. So one deck that we didn't get to. And then I guess Fleam, which we kind of wanted to try and rebuild, but we ended up not doing that and doing something else instead. So, what did we learn today, chap? What did we learn today? We learned that Druneth, very powerful. Mayhem... I like the Mayhem cards. I just feel like something is missing, right? I think there's this tension with Mayhem where a lot of the payoffs are legendary, so you end up feeling forced to play 4 copies of all these legendary cards, but then you just kind of have draws that you draw too many payoffs, you draw too many of the second copies of your legend, but I think the Mayhem deck certainly has a lot of potential. It definitely felt it definitely felt powerful. And there's plenty of enablers, right? Fleam deck needs a lot of work. White Weenie deck was fine, nothing too crazy. The Cage deck with Camera, very good. And then probably the best deck of the day was easily the Synthesizer deck. It's crazy how much Camera does for this deck. Camera, aka Phenomena Recorder. Like, there's just so many good things to be able to copy with the Camera, like Perilous Snare, Braided Net activation, repurposing bay, Synthesizer trigger, even something as simple as Saw Blades, copying that was pretty good. We never really got to cook with Murata in this deck, but it certainly, like, Murata definitely has potential. Just, maybe wasn't quite, maybe not the best shell for Murata, because it sort of also is like a lightning rod for removal spells. But yeah, we went 14-1 with this deck. We played 2 runs, we got 7-0, and then 7-1. So if you're looking for a deck to play week 1, or like first, when the set drops in Arena, would certainly recommend this deck. This is probably the best deck we played today for sure, and makes me kind of want to explore more more things with the Camera, because I think the Camera is just really, really good. So definitely, as far as standout cards from today is concerned, the Phenomena Recorder and then Druneth. Those are probably the 2 most impressive cards. I knew Druneth was going to be good, and it was probably even better than I thought it was going to be. That is going to do it for me. I thank you very, very much for tuning in. I appreciate you all being here and hanging out with me. I thank you all for supporting the stream. You know, again, I say this every single time, but I really do mean it. I would not be able to do any of this without your support. So if you enjoy the content, consider supporting. Any and all support really means a lot to me and helps me continue to do what I do, and helps out the stream and all that stuff. So thank you guys for hanging out. Hope you had a great time. Appreciate you all supporting the content, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Enjoy the rest of your evening,